What's going on, guys? This your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video. We're going to jump right into this one. We know yesterday we had a situation take place at Unrivaled with Breanna Stewart, man. Breanna Stewart came out with a sign that said abolish ICE. A lot of people have been giving mixed reviews about that certain sign that she had. Even here on my channel, I'm all for both sides. I've been telling y'all that the country is at a divide in my eyes. And I feel like what is happening in Minnesota is very, very tragic. But I feel like it shouldn't be mixed in with sports because we have to have conversations like this. These are very, very uncomfortable conversations. Do I feel like Breanna Stewart maybe should have done this somewhere else or done this on social media? Possibly, yes. I feel like the ridicule that she's receiving, she probably wouldn't be receiving it as bad had she done it on like her Instagram, had she done this on like her Twitter, TikTok, or anything, or somewhere like that. But those of you guys who might not know and who might be behind in the situation that's took place yesterday, let me get you guys caught up real quick. Let's head on over to X and play this. So this is the situation that occurred yesterday with Breanna Stewart. She pulled up to the Unrivaled game and held up this sign, abolish ICE. A lot of people feel like she shouldn't have did what she did. I feel as if she definitely shouldn't have did it. Not on TV, because at the end of the day, people come to watch basketball. People really, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people have mixed feelings about this ICE stuff, bro. And if we all or like rooting for the same cause, and that is good basketball, we all got to hear both sides. And this is one of them situations where you just got to hear both sides out. And I feel like this is actually going to do more harm than it is good to the current state of the WNBA and the current state of Unrivaled. We know that they have been going through ups and downs with ratings and stuff like that. We still don't have a CBA agreement signed. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just from my knowledge of the WNBA and pissing fans off, you really don't want to piss them off because they're going to hit you where it hurt. I can't speak for other sports. I can definitely speak on my experience with covering the WNBA, and this definitely pissed a lot of fans off. But Breanna Stewart did. She definitely did respond to all of this, and in a press conference that she did, she told everybody how she feel, man. And she let it be known yesterday, during her press conference. And this is it in its entirety. Let's listen.
Thank you both for joining. We'll go ahead and get started with questions from Nikias in the front row.
Hi, y'all. Congratulations on the win. Before getting into the basketball, Stewart, you came out in the intros with the message. Just when did you know you were going to do that? And do you ever feel any kind of pressure to make statements with injustice like this, or does it kind of just come to you naturally now?
I think that, knowing what my values are and what I stand for, I think that really all day yesterday, I was kind of just disgusted from everything that you see on Instagram and in the news. And, we're so fueled by hate right now and instead of love. So I wanted to kind of have a simple message of, abolish ICE, which means to uplift families and communities instead of, having policies to uplift families and communities instead of fueling fear and violence. I think that, when human lives are at stake, it's bigger than anything else. So to have that simple message before the game was important to me, and knowing that, everyone here is feeling that way, one way or another, and it was just a perfect time.
Jamil on Zoom.
Breanna, I just am curious, in this moment where there's so much political turmoil happening in our country, what do you feel is the responsibility of not just yourself, but players in general across the leagues? What is their responsibility, or what do you think is their responsibility in terms of what can be done in this moment?
Yeah, I think doing whatever you can to help your community. Obviously, Minnesota is the place that everyone's seeing that's in crisis, but it's happening in many more cities than just one. And knowing the right people to reach out to, your local council person, your mayor, your governor, and really advocating for change and to change the policies and advocating for reform, knowing that it's not going to happen overnight, but how many times do we have to see it happen over and over and over again? And like I said, using our platform to make sure that we're trying to make a change and a difference and hopefully save a life.
Thank you. Alexa on Zoom.
Hi, Stewie. Just following up on that, how have, I guess, you processed what's going on, not just in Minnesota, but throughout the country, just, being married to Marta and seeing things through her lens as, an immigrant to the States and, everything that comes with that.
I mean, it's scary. I think that, when you see it, like I said, you see it on social media, you see it splitting up families and dissecting communities, and kids are being involved. It's the worst in all ways. And to be married to Marta, who's a Spanish citizen, it hits home for us because we're working to get her citizenship, and she is a legal permanent resident and all of that, but it seems like it doesn't matter. And I think that that's why these policies need to be put in place, that reform needs to happen, because it doesn't seem to be affecting the right people. It's not helping anybody, and really everybody just needs help.
If I could follow up too, obviously right now with the league, there's a lot of high stakes right now with where the league's at growing, with the uncertainties surrounding the CBA. I guess, how do you individually, but then as a group, collectively, hope to balance figuring out all of that and where the league grows and what that kind of level of growth looks like with activism that's been such a huge part of the WNBA since its launch?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, obviously while we're continuing to work in this status quo period, it's not that we don't have them supporting us and behind us, or our respective teams supporting or behind us. It's just that we're still currently negotiating. So while we don't agree on all things, we know that they're supporting our platform that we have, and we continue to kind of fight in all the ways we can until we do come to a final agreement.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Wendell.
Coach, I wanted to just ask you a quick question about Arike Ogunbowale's performance off the bench, providing another spark, second straight game. She gets double digits checking in. Can you just talk about, the luxury of having a player like that coming in your second unit?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I think I heard a stat on the broadcast that she's the fourth all-time leading scorer in WNBA history in points per game. So when you have that coming off the bench, it's the ultimate luxury. And what we try to preach with her is we know she's an elite all-time scorer. It's, when she's given that defense and the playmaking, you see what it does to our team. It uplifts everyone. And so love the way she played tonight. I think she was a little cold there to start. And so you like it even more when you understand how she had to battle back and really just be a creator out there.
Thank you.
We'll go back to Nikias.
Yes, a question for you, Coach. Excuse me if this is a late observation, but just kind of watching your spacing today, it felt like the corners were very rarely filled, a lot of wing spacing there.
Yeah.
Is that just a product of the 3-on-3 format? Is that more of like a transition defense deal? Like what kind of goes into that kind of spacing alignment?
Yeah, there was a lot of thought that went into that. For me in this game, I don't think there's any necessity to fill the corners. For one reason, if I'm running my lane and I fill the corner on the right side and they're playing a two-person action on the left side, I'm pretty much in no man's land, So even if there's a tag, I'm really not in position to be a helper for a kick out or a next action. So what we try to preach is fill to about the break, and then you want catch and shoot in the corner. And that's really, the only time that we want to be there with our spacing. So definitely an adjustment. I think Alicia Gray's the one person who fell into that really naturally because Atlanta doesn't fill the corners for the most part. So a little different.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
So that was Breanna Stewart responding to the abolish ICE signs. I want to know you guys' thoughts in the comment section right now. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way to Unrivaled. And like always, man, until next time, shake the haters off. I'm out of here, bro. Peace out.